So peeps, my name's Ian. I sell books on eBay. 15-ish orders to get it packed up out this morning. Saturday morning, so I've got a wee bit more time to do it. The Royal Mail stays open till midday instead of shutting at 10 AM, so it gives me a wee bit extra time to get the packing done. I have just realised that yesterday I was meant to pick up a big pack of sellotape and I forgot to go and grab it, so I'm going to have to actually go and get that before I can do my packing, because I've got plenty of big brown tape, but normal sellotape for just securing down bubble wrap as you wrap things is my preferred weapon of choice. So that's a bit annoying. I'm going to have to run around and grab some. Anywho, orders. What have we got that has gone out today? Let's start with a bit of Jojo Moyes. Yeah, Jojo Moyes. 5 Jojo Moyes books, £12.99. Now there's a few today that are quite big packages, so I'm not making a huge amount on each of these orders, but I'm still making something, and that's what matters. For example, that one will probably tip the 2 kilo scale, but it's only a £12.99 order, so you know, what can you do? Next we've got some Richard Osman, which is over here somewhere. As usual, I am amazingly well organised. I have everything all sorted, and we've got 2 Richard Osman hardcovers, Man That Died Twice and The Bullet That Missed, and they've gone for £11.99. Nope, that's the wrong that is what sold, but that didn't sell till later in the day, however it works. It's the other Richard Osman bundle that's gone for £11.99, which is actually 3 books. There you go, those 3, £11.99. So under 2 kilos that one. And then we've got the first of our single books of the day that's gone out. Another Horus Heresy, Descent of Angels. Who's this one? Mitchell Scanlon on that one. Again, really nice, good, clean condition. And that sold for a fairly modest £35.21. We like those books, especially when you usually find them in bundles. Another single book, not quite as extravagant a sale as that one, £5.98 for a wee Anne Rice paperback. That's in less than perfect condition, but you know, a nice readable copy. And then, oh, I thought we had another single book, but we don't. We've got a little bundle of James Patterson, and it's 4 of his bookshop books and a copy of Hush Hush as well, and the 5 of those, £9.99. And then, what else is going on? Ah, here they are. 2 Richard Osman books. You'll never have seen these before, but they sold for, it was £16.99. These have gone for, because it's first edition. Actually, what a customer did was ordered 2 of these, one first edition, one not first edition, then messaged me to say, oops, sorry, I meant to order that one, can I have that instead? So what they should actually have paid is £19.99, because that's a first edition as well that I've got left. But to be honest, I can't be bothered cancelling the order, getting them to put it back through and doing all that faffing about. So £16.99 for those 2 books. It still makes me a bit of money, so I'm quite happy with that. They're getting an extra wee bargain into the whole thing. Lee Child, there's always Lee Child. 5 Lee Child. Let's see who can guess how much they sold for. I'll give you 3, 2, 1. Did you get it? £12.99. There's no surprises in this world. Well, actually, there's loads of surprises in this world, but not in this tiny little microcosmic world that I am living in right now. Tangled Up in Blue, The Rise and Fall of Rangers FC by Stephen O'Donnell. I haven't picked that yet. Dagnammit. I'll need to go and grab that one. But once I've picked it, it sold for £8. Oh, I'm glad this sold. We've got Bacon, the cookbook. I picked up a dozen of these. I just thought they're nice and clean, getting them cheap, why not pick them up and see if they go. If they never sell, then it's 3 or 4 quid that I've wasted. If they do start selling, they seem to sell not very often, but for a reasonable price. So if I can get 12 of them, it's a risk worth taking. That sold for £14.99, and I've got another 11. Oh, if I can get another one to sell soon, then that'll get that listing a bit of momentum and hopefully clear out a few more of them. But yeah, really happy that sold. £14.99. Had them sitting for a couple of months now, so be good to get them moving. Patricia Cornwell. That's a single Patricia Cornwell book. Livid by Patricia Cornwell. Paperback, £6.99. See, a few single books today, but not this one. Well, that's a book on its own. David Walliams. He's one of his big floppy paperback books, but it sold alongside 4 of his not so floppy paperback books. So 5 David Walliams books, £9.99. Which means, ooh, this is a heavy bundle. Of that there is no doubt. Diana, is it Diana? Yes, Diana Gabble cross stitch. What was the program called again? You know the one where she keeps going back in time to hook up with her man. But yeah, a bundle of Diana gabbled on books. Outlander, that's what they changed its name to. So cross stitch became Outlander, and then all of these books followed it one way or another. £13.99 for that lot. Of course, there's a hardcover, although ironically, every single one of those paperbacks weighs a lot more than that single hardcover. So yes, that will be more than 2 kilos. But £13.99, I am making money, and that's what counts. Connolly, Michael. 5 Michael Connollys. Again, 1 hardcover, 4 paperbacks. That seems to be in a wee bit of a trend today, you know, 1 of 1 and all the rest of the rest. But they sold for, should be, yes it is, £13.99, because £4 for that, £3 each for those, but it's buy 3 get 2 free, as I'm sure you know. So that was £13.99 for some Connolly. The last of the books on its own today, a wee Ray Bradbury, Dandelion Wine. So again, okay condition, and it sold for £11.98. There you have it. Some old books do sell well. Oh yes, another, and the last one for now. The final chapter in today's episode of Selling Old Books. 5 James Patterson paperbacks. So another James Patterson bundle. Again, £9.99. So that's everything that I need to get packed up after I've gone and picked up the sellotape. Because, see, you just have these things handy. Wrap it, wee bit of that, on it goes. And I've usually got rolls and rolls and rolls of that stuff sitting, and somehow I have managed to run out, and all I'm left with is loads of big brown tape, which is not convenient for putting together bubble wrap. Anyway, that's not what I was going to do. Get all this done. Thank you for all the comments and the support. The eBay awards, that's been fantastic. Thank you very, very much. If by some strange roll of the dice I was to win that, I can make this a much, much bigger business. That would be fantastic, which would mean there'd be so much more to share with all of you guys, and see what it takes to transition from being a wee home-based business to something a bit more business-like rather than just a job. Which takes me to one of the comments, one of the questions that came in over the last few videos. How did I transition to being a full-time reseller, bookseller on eBay or wherever else I've been selling them? That's a difficult question to answer, because I never have. I had a full-time job. I had been trying to do other things, you know, side hustles, trying other wee bits and pieces out in the spare time that I had around that job, which, although I did have spare time, having drained that all week doing the 9 to 5, by the time the day was over, I brain dead, brain dead, exhausted. It wasn't doing my health any good, all of these things. So it was very, very difficult to do anything. So I just took the decision to say, right, I'm going to cut my losses. The job I was in, it was a good job, don't get me wrong, but with some brilliant people. But it was poison for me at that point. I've been there for a lot of years, done very well in it. But no matter what, the salary was barely enough to pay the bills. Single parent, it's just me bringing an income into the household. A couple of kids to support as well. They spend some time with their mum too, but still have to try and support them some way. And what I was doing was not covering all of that and having anything left over. So when it came to Christmases, birthdays, it was increasing a debt to cover anything which could be considered even the smallest luxury. Holidays, none of these things. I've been abroad with my kids once back in 2008 where we went to visit my cousin in Germany for a few days. So when they were both very, very, very little. I've never been able to do anything like that with them, which a lot of people don't get the chance to do that. We've had a couple of nice holidays locally, don't get me wrong. It's not been a hard time. But there's never been enough in that job to allow for that little bit of extra. And considering what I was doing, which I'm not going to go into, there really should have been. That always kind of griped. So cut my losses, stepped away from that, and focused on a few different, side hustles, for want of a better way of describing them, because that had the potential to make me the same as what I was earning in a fairly senior position in an office by doing pretty menial jobs. Simple as that. Doing deliveries for Amazon, cleaning people's toilets, things like that make as much money as having a senior position in an office. It's not got the security, it's not got the pension, it's not got all of these things, but the potential's there to make the same and significantly more. So I binned the job, I focused on that, and initially it was very much hunter-gatherer. So every day you're trying to do as much as you can to pay the bills for that day, put food on the table, stick money aside for the rent and the gas bills and all of these things, and scrambling to do that. Now, I've never been hugely motivated by money. I've never had money to be motivated by, I'll be perfectly honest. Not something I've ever really had a taste of. My only motivation in there was enough to get into a position where things could be comfortable and I wouldn't be stressed at the end of the month, and there'd be a wee bit to stick aside for things, like I say, such as birthdays and Christmases and holidays and all of these bits and pieces. So that initial scramble was very much, hand to mouth. There was no wriggle room in there at all. And then I quite early on in that, a month or so into it, a couple of months in, stumbled back onto the whole eBay, the reselling thing, and started dabbling in that. Within a few months, I had 20 grand of stock. Started with sold a few bits of my own things, came up with 80 quid, ended up with 20 grand in stock. And that's the point where it was a case of, well, actually there's potential here for this to be quite a significant part of my day-to-day income. And I've just kept building it from there. A year or so ago, I decided to get rid of all the clothes and the toys and all the, the kind of typical everything seller stuff, and focus very much on books, because I enjoyed doing the books. I didn't enjoy doing the other bits and pieces, and that has now become the majority of what I do on eBay. 99 point something % is books being sold on eBay. But I would not class myself as a full-time bookseller, reseller, whichever title you would choose. I will never consider myself a full-time anything. I don't want to say I work 40 hours a week, I work 50 hours a week, I work 60 hours a week. What I want is to do enough every week, day, month, whatever time span you want to put it across, to pay the bills and put a wee bit aside to make sure that I can be comfortable when I do finally properly retire, and that I can support my kids as best possible in whatever they're doing as they move forward. So if I can do that working 5 hours a week, I'll only work 5 hours a week. I'll only put in that 5 hours effort to achieve that. And then that's me got enough. I don't want more. If I decided I did want a bit more, then maybe I'd do the 10 hours a week. If it takes me 50 hours a week to do that, then I'll be working 50 hours a week. But hopefully that won't be every week. A week or so ago, eBay was really slow. The start of the school holidays, the election, the football, there was all sorts going on. And eBay went really, really slow for me. And when that happened, I'm not taking any chances. So I spent a week doing Amazon deliveries and a few other wee bits and pieces just to make sure that I had daily income coming in from that. You don't get paid daily, obviously, but you know what I mean. And going forward, those things remain an option. I haven't done it for the last few days because I've been busy focusing on a lot of eBay stuff, you know, getting listings, getting pickups, and processing quite a few sales that are coming through. If I can scale up the business to about 4 times what I've got here at the moment, then that means that I need to take on premises. So if my profit went up 4 times, which it probably wouldn't by scaling 4 times, then a quarter of that additional profit, or possibly more, would be paying for premises and all these bits and pieces. About a third of that would pay for somebody to help me out so that I'm not having to go and work a 9 to 5 somewhere else and suddenly being tied down to only having that stream of income. Because I don't want a job, I want a business. So that would allow me to pay somebody to support me in what I'm doing here, and then it would still leave at the end about the same as what I would make at the moment. So by scaling up 4 times, I would end up with the same amount of income, but the business would be bigger and also have the potential to go even bigger. So going from having a room in the house to some sort of unit, then I would want that to have the potential to be 6, 8, 10 times more than what I'm currently doing out of the house, so that if I can quickly get it to 4 times the stock, which I know I can do with what I've got available, then it can continue to grow and expand, and my daily will come greater out of that. So I never want to be full-time at anything again. Working at an hourly rate, I've always believed that that was some sort of madness. I've never been able to comprehend how that works, but I accepted it for a lot of years, young family, etc. You've got to take security where you can. But when I was in a job where I got paid essentially an hourly rate, I did a lot more and worked a lot harder than some of my peers who get paid the same, sometimes more than what I got paid, but the difference that I made to the business had no impact on my financial reward at the end of it. There was others who, I've no doubt, provided more value than I did and got paid the same as me. So there's that whole rate. Why? How should that work? If I'm putting in the effort, then I want the relevant reward for what I do. So I don't want to get paid by the hour or by the day or by the week or by the month or by the year. I want to get the reward for the effort I put in. If the effort I put in doesn't have reward, then I'll very quickly learn that and put my effort elsewhere. You see a lot of people who do wonderful, exciting things. Office environment, that's what I've been familiar with for a lot of years. And they make it look bright and shiny. 2 months later, it's provided no value. It's probably cost the business money, but it was nice and bright and shiny, and they use that to get promotions and go and cause problems elsewhere. So that shouldn't get a reward, whereas there's people who are just working, slogging their guts out in the background, not me I'm talking about here, you know, real good workers, who are making a huge difference to your customers, to your bottom line, all of these things, and they just take their paycheck every month and go unnoticed, but they're the ones that are adding real value. So why should that be the case? You know, see what somebody does, whether it's you're working for yourself or someone else, and whatever value you have added to that business over whatever period of time, that is what I always think should reflect what your income is. So if you can add enough value in 2 days a week to pay your monthly bills, why should you have to put in more effort than that 2 days a week? You've got your monthly bills paid. If you want the luxury car or whatever it is on top of that, then maybe you're going to work 3, 4, 5 days a week. But it should be based on that reward rather than everybody just getting paid the same amount regardless of what they do. Anyway, I'm completely flapping on about that now. So I have never transitioned to becoming a full-time eBay seller. Some weeks I spend every week an hour doing things. Some weeks, some days, it's a couple of hours. It just depends on, you know, what else is going on in life, what my mood is for the day. Lots of different things to consider there. But essentially, I will work as much as I need to pay all the bills and have a wee bit aside on top of that so that things can be comfortable-ish. And beyond that, it's not an issue. Having said that, I've not had much opportunity to have much beyond that so far, but I can see where it potentially is on the horizon, and that's where I will develop to at some point or other. So that was a big, long, rambling spiel. I don't know, was that a bit negative? I don't know. But anyway, freedom, all that stuff. Selling stuff on eBay is a fantastic way to make an extra few quid. Very, very difficult to make, you know, to replace a good full-time salary. But if you want to make an extra 20, 30 grand a year, you can definitely do that without it becoming a full-time job as a side hustle. I've got no doubts about that. Pretty much anyone can do it if you've got a bit of space and you're willing to take your time, build up, learn, make mistakes, learn, have successes, win, make some money. That's what it's all about, isn't it? Making some money. Anyway, I'm going to end it there because I really do need to go and get this sellotape now. And thanks for watching. Thanks for your support. Subscribe, hit the like, leave a comment, tell me I'm talking pish, whatever it might be. And hopefully I shall see you tomorrow.